Good morning, everyone. My name is Michel Nicolai from Zyzel. I'd like to start the webinar in a few minutes. Let's wait just a few minutes more to have all the people that trying to attend, that give them some time to start up the application. So I'll give it another 1 or 2 minutes, and then we will start. Again, good morning to everyone. Um, we have quite some people on the webinar today. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Michel Nicolai. I'm the Senior Regional Sales Engineer for Northern Europe and Middle East. And I will show you in, let's say, 1.5 hour, our product portfolio related to our hospitality and education. First of all, I will do a small introduction of our brand, our Zyzel brand. Then we will discuss the GPON product that we offer in our market. What we also do is to show you our Wi-Fi portfolio, the new security portfolio, and our new monitoring and configuration platform. At the end of the webinar, we have a draw. So if you pay good attention to the webinar, we have a question at the end, and then we can have a winner, and that winner will be the proud owner of a nice Zyzel home router. So before we start, if you have any questions, please use the chat during my presentation. So when I see the chat coming through, then I'll try to answer this immediately during my presentation. At the end, we can have a verbal conversation in our Q&A at the end of the webinar. So again, thank you all for joining. Let's talk a little bit about Zyzel, because we are in the business for quite some time already. We are already 30 years in the business, serving lots of markets, over 150 and over 100 million devices we have already connected to the network. So if you look at this split of the revenue, you see that majority of our products being sold in the EMEA region. That means Europe, Middle East, and Africa. This is quite interesting to say, because if you know that Zyzel is from original a Taiwanese product, and Taiwanese based, our headquarters is in Taiwan. We manufacture a lot of products in Taiwan and also in China, but yeah, only we can be really successful in Europe if we meet the European quality standard. So that's the reason why we are really successful, because we are meeting that quality standard. If you look at the businesses we are serving, we are having a telco service provider division that takes care of all our major ISP customers like Worldwide, T-Mobile, Vodafone, all those kind of ISPs. The majority where we are focusing today is in the middle segment, the business connectivity, and yes, we have also some home products that are being sold through most of the time e-tailers. When you look at the added value that we have as a brand next to our product line, is that we offer quite some offerings to our partners. If we start on the top left, we have bid support. So if you have a nice opportunity, a nice project, and we like to help and support you on price, then of course we have a local Zyxel office in Saudi Arabia and in Dubai, where you can send your project to, and we can discuss with you to get the correct pricing on this, and to hopefully to win this project with you as a partner. To be successful, we offer a limited lifetime warranty. That means that as long as we have it on the price file, you have warranty, of course. But if it drops out of the price file, so it's end of sales, then from that date, you have another 5 years of warranty. So that means that in average, you have 8 to 10 years warranty on your product. Then the next one, the second one on the left-hand side, post-sales support. So if you buy Zyxel products, we offer free support to all Zyxel customers. It can be end users, it can be you as a reseller or as a partner, it can be the distributors, it can be anyone who's taking care of our product that needs support. We can give support to that customer. We have our support portal available, support@zyxel.eu, and there you can find all the ways how we can support you by mail, by chat, or even by telephone. Then on the other side, the blue one, pre-sales support and guidance, that if you need some assistance on your project, on your product selection, we have some more technical people available. I'm part of that. That can help you to select the right product. Of course, our salespeople are really skilled to help you out on this, but on occasionally they need some assistance to verify technically. Then our pre-sales support can help you out on this. On this case, I'm responsible for the Middle East, so you can contact me for that. But we have a big team in Zyxel, a lot of colleagues who can assist me in this as well. So if we go to the left-hand side, regional presence, yes, we have our own office in the Middle East region. We are based in Dubai. So we are close to our customers, and we also have Mohammed in Saudi Arabia who can assist you. So we can work very close together. Free webinars. That's one. One of them is what we're doing at the moment. So we are trying to schedule a lot of them more in the future. So please take care of our website to check on that if there is an upcoming one again on certain topics. We're trying to help you on that. So that's what we offer. Partner program. Partner program is already in place in Europe. We're trying to get this up and running in the Middle East as well. We're expecting to have that in Q4, maybe beginning Q1 next year. then you can register as a partner and you get all kinds of benefits regarding support, pricing, and those kinds of things. Then next business day replacement. This depends on the distributor where you bought your product on. The warranty on our product is returned to distributor and they will replace the product. Depends on their service. It can be next business day. And for the technical engineers, we have on the right hand side all down the deployment guides. These deployment guides are PDF guides that have over 500 to 700 pages of example applications, how you can program our products. Those are categorized on security, switch, wireless, and there are free downloads available through our website or through our FTP site. If you go on ftp.zyxel.com, then you have a file listing you see on your browser, and you see all the model names that we have today and what we had in the recent past, where you can find all information on our products. It can be software like new firmware versions, can also be the latest data sheet, but also you can find deployment guides or application guides, how to help you on configuring your configuration. Then the last part, network management tools, also available on our website. There are some free Windows application you can install to help you on configuring the Zyxel products on premise. So those are the values that we have as a brand. Yeah. What's also very important to know when selecting Zyxel as your primary networking brand, that we can have all kinds of solutions in the network environment, from left to right, security appliances, wireless, LAN switches, gateways, network management, but also fiber or GPON solutions. Talking about GPON solutions, that's the first topic I'd like to address. Then we talk about products. GPON, PON network elements. If we're talking about products, we have two products, the OLT, the optical line terminal, and the ONT, the optical network unit. Those are the two active devices that you can have to distribute your network from one place to another. So the OLT will distribute out all the connections to the ONTs, and that will be done through the ODN, so the optical distribution network, by passive splitters. And the passive splitters, that is very convenient because it doesn't need to be powered, and it is very convenient to install. So why passive optical LAN is, if you look at the traditional LAN configuration, then we need a bunch of switches to deploy our network. So we have our core and aggregation switches and access switches to connect all our devices through the network. That is how we are traditionally doing this. But we have an option when using GPON to have the core still there, but on the aggregation switch you have an OLT who will distribute out on fiber cable to the ONT where you connect your devices to. So what is the benefit of using this way of your network deployment? It will give you a lot of savings. Yeah, cost savings on cable and equipment, on floor space, even on electricity. So there's a lot of things where you can have a benefit on. So I will try to illustrate this benefit based on a case study. Yeah, we use this as an hospitality environment to have a guest room where we have a hotel with over 200 guest rooms, over 11 floors. First floor is the lobby in the public area, and each floor has 20 guest rooms. Yeah, then we want to manage the bandwidth, yeah, to make sure that every floor has a dedicated bandwidth, and that each guest room has also a dedicated bandwidth to make sure that the network moves smoothly. And then the services we can run, that can be CCTV or voice or IPTV as well. So if we look at the hotel, yeah, this is a floor plan of a generic hotel with 20 guest rooms. And then we have at the elevator, we have the and that's we have the elevator here. We have here the service and laundry option. There we can distribute out our cabling. So, and the cabling is distributed to our guests room. And if you have a guest room like this, where you have a wireless access point, you have some phones, TVs, maybe you want to have an Ethernet cable as well to be connected by cable to the internet, maybe a second TV or a second phone, the phone in the bathroom, then you can connect all this um, to your ONT. So how does it look like in the room itself? Yeah. So we made an example of a room where we put all the devices in, and we put the ONT, in this case, behind the IP TV, and where we connect everything to that box. And all the services you see, what we have, the CCTV or the CAT-V or the PMS system, IPTV with the IPPBX, so the phone system can be distributed through just one fiber cable up to all the rooms. So if we compare this into a traditional Ethernet topology, then it looks more like this. Yeah, and then you have to cable up to the switches, and you have multiple switches to distribute out to each room. So the number of switches you have to put in, it's quite a lot, and probably on each floor. And with the traditional, with the GPON, then you have only your distribution device on the ground floor, and you just cable up without using any additional switches. So if we do some kind of cost calculation, then on the left-hand side, we did the Ethernet calculation. We used Cisco for this to make this calculation. On the other hand, we put our OLT solution on this, and you see at the end that we have a major cost saving. Yeah, the cost saving can be over 40%. Just by using the GPON technology over the Ethernet one. So to illustrate this, yeah, here you can see the two options. The top one is the traditional one, where you would deploy by all kinds of additional switches you see in the facility room. Yeah, you need the facility room to have the power, to have the switches all there, to connect to each individual room. But on the PON system, you have only the telco room all on the first floor, and you only put cables from that part to each individual room. Yeah, and you can use splitters on this. So, and that's passive, and you don't need a facility room to power these. So another advantage, that you reduce space because you need less switches on the floor rack. It's maybe only one or two devices, but on each floor you're missing out all the switches. So it's a big saving on that part. And also the heavy cable tray where you put on normal all your Ethernet cables, that is not necessary because GPON requires less space. So if we look at from the management point of view, we can have one management platform where we can control the high-speed internet, the voice, and the IPT, the TV services, and that's why we're offering a solution kit. So on the GPON, we have a solution kit that contains the NetAtlas software. So this is something you need to install on a server, and that can provision and monitor and configure your base station, so your OLT on the ground floor, and also your OLTs, the ONUs in the rooms. So if you look at our lineup, the lineup is quite large. We can already start with a small deployment up to 1024 connections from one OLT. We can use OLT 1404 or 1408. The last digits stands for the number of fiber ports we are offering. And as you see, gradually we can connect more and more rooms or houses or anything you want to connect to the network into that system. So we can have up to 30K of devices connected to our OLTs. On the other hand, we need receivers or devices where we can connect our local products on. And then we have two data products. One, it's the PMG 3000. That is just an SFP that you can put in our switches so that our switches can connect to the GPON network. If you just need a converter from GPON from fiber to Ethernet, then you can use the PMG 1005 for this. But if you need more services, like in a room that you need data, voice, and Wi-Fi, then we offer two products on that one as well, the PMG 5317 and the 6517, to provide you data, voice, and Wi-Fi in the room or in the household. And then we have our final product in our product line. There we can also have a analog video signal getting out of the box as well. So if the TV in the room is not supporting digital television yet, then we can also provide this on an analog way. So how we can do this? We can create a configuration file, connect to the device, and download the configuration and apply to it. So this is how the NetAtlas software is working when doing this kind of deployment. If you look at the reliability and redundancy, here we show our OLT 2406. You see that we have two places for management and uplink cards and two power modules. So in case of a power failure, you can change that hot swap. The management card can be made redundant, and you see that you have can upgrade up to 4 slots to provide fiber into the building. If you don't want to use the NetAtlas software, that's not a problem. Then you can do it on another way. We can also configure our devices through the web browser, and then it makes it easy to log on the system from anywhere, from any device, as long as you have a web browser available on your device. If you look at our hardware design, then we have some unique design in that one, because for our product, you don't need a server rack. We will also fit in a telco rack. Telco racks are obviously less deep, but we fit that in there. We have dual power input. We can have AC or DC power input, and we have all the connections to the front. Yeah. This is, if you looking closer to the product, you see that you have the AC/DC outlet, and you have also a possibility to have a battery on the unit, to have it battery powered in case of a power failure. So that's our GPON product line we have, and we have done quite some successes in these products. We have some success cases. I will go through them a bit. I don't have details on everyone, but you see in some verticals we have some big hotels and other environments where we put this in. This is in Beijing in China. We have here another hotel in Jakarta in Indonesia. Here we do a campus in Taiwan on a university. We provide all kinds of Ethernet connections to all the students. We have another campus here in India. We did the GPON, and also on other verticals like surveillance. We have quite some installations done as well. This is city surveillance. This is in Argentina. So you see that worldwide we are doing quite some business. This is a example that is in the territory of Dubai, of the UAE, where we done some installations as well. Yeah, so that's quite some success stories we have in this. So I just once again, if you have any questions related to the presentation, please fill it out on the chat, because then I can use that in my to answer your question. So you can use that. Let's go to our next topic, wireless, because wireless is quite important, not only in hospitality, but also in education. Why it's important? Yeah, because we are checking our phones 85 times a day, maybe even more, to check on our applications, and we all want to get connected all the time and to see how many people are connected. I think by next year, even 7 billion businesses will be connected to the internet, and it will be more and more over in time. Yeah, and not only smartphones, of course, and PCs, but Internet of Things. Yeah, all the smart home products we see nowadays that's coming in. They all want to be wireless connected, so that it needs to be more and more implemented. And as we have today, we focus on hospitality and education. But yeah, as you know, in all kinds of verticals, we use wireless. Yeah, cafes, restaurants, retail, education, offices, it's everywhere. So if we look from a management point of view, how we can manage our wireless, then we have a few options. Yeah, we have a platform called Nebula, where you can do centralized management, but you can also do it standalone per device, or centralized on-premises on a controller. So those are the options we use as a brand to deploy our wireless services. So if we go a little bit on some technical background on wireless, because we offer so many products in this, and sometimes you see in the description of the products some numbers where you think, okay, what does it refer to? So one of them is that we call our product, and we say it's a 2x2 access point, or a 3x3 access point. So what does it mean when we call those numbers? Those numbers are related to the number of antennas that we have on our units. So the more antennas, the faster the access point. And so that's why you see that the more antennas, the more expensive the product will be. And it depends on your need on the wireless, the speed, if you need to buy maybe a little bit more expensive one to meet your speed expectations. So on the performance, this has a big impact because the majority of our products nowadays have 3x3 antenna for the maximum speed. So that speed can be over 1 gigabit per second if you want. But if you do a test nowadays and you take, for example, some smartphones as a test unit, you see that the maximum performance is not there on your smartphone. Yeah, and that means that your smartphone has less antennas to meet the maximum performance. As in this example, on an Apple iPhone 8 that's still available, Apple only offers a 1x1 antenna. So if you have a 3x3 access point, you can imagine that the maximum performance cannot be done through your smartphone. The only device that has 3x3 antenna by default out of the factory is an Apple MacBook Pro. Those are the only devices that are available out of the box with a 3x3 antenna and have the maximum performance. Those configurations are available on other brands, but most of the time it's an upgrade you have to buy separately. On the majority of all business laptops, all the vendors are offering 2x2 antennas. So that already limits the maximum throughput of the wireless. So that's something you need to take care of. What are other things that are important for your wireless is to look at the number of associations you can do on your Wi-Fi. In general, with the traditional antennas, you can connect 20 to 25 clients per radio to an access point. That's on average. But there are different vendors with different technology who can have more. And those devices are related to density and type, and it is also related to the applications you need on your wireless to run if this is important. So one of those technologies that we have as a vendor, Zyxel has an award-winning technology. And Zyxel is one of the few vendors that offer this technology. It's called Smart Antenna. We started this together with Ruckus to have this technology. So we are the pioneers in this one, but we can show you that this is the technology for the future and will really give you benefits to give you a better Wi-Fi experience. So not to confuse our smart antenna with Ruckus, because Ruckus is not calling it smart antenna, but it's called BeamFlex. So that looks like that sounds like beamforming, but that's not the case. So beamforming is a process of steering the RF energy to the client in another way, so that the signal strength will double. And to illustrate this, this is an example of a single antenna sending out 360 to a device. That's a normal signal. But when we use beamforming, we have dual antenna, and the second antenna is sending out a Wi-Fi signal as well, but it is shifted in phase a bit. That means that on the points where they overlap, that you have a double performance or a double amount of signal you have. When this was invented, this technology, then we were still in the N standard. As you know, we have the B standard, the G standard, the N standard, and now we have the AC standard. The beam forwarding was developed when the N standard was around, but this technology was there, but there was no client that can deal with this. So this technology, when it came out, it was nice marketing, but there was no client that could do this. At the other end, we're moving in time, and we are developing our technology. And now this is one of the new technologies we have in our latest AC Wave 2 technology. And then we will have a big benefit of this this technology. So then you see that if your device is on the crossing point, that you have the additional signal strength. So you have a better receiving of the signal. So in N, it doesn't give you any benefit, but on AC Wave 2, that's our second generation beamforming, we can have a performance improvement of 15% with this technology. So this is what we implemented in our new products as well, so that you can benefit from this 15% extra performance. So another technology that we are using in our new AP series is that all access points in the past and also today are transmitting in a single user MIMO way. That means that each device is connecting not simultaneously, but in sequence. So that means that when one is connecting, the other two have to wait till they are being served by the access point. That's how our traditional access points are working today. But we have now implemented multi-user MIMO in our AC Wave 2, and then we have a benefit that all clients can connect simultaneously to the access point. So there is no waiting time anymore, and this will give a theoretical increase of over 300% of your performance. But this is a technically increase, because if there is one device that is not supporting this multi-user MIMO, then it will go down to that original speed. So this is also a development what we have. Yeah. Still, as I said, we have our new technology, our smart antenna. So to illustrate this, we have some challenges where we think smart antenna is a big benefit. So we listed some questions or some issues that you might have experienced in the past, and these are some issues that you might come across. Let's say the yellow one, even one AP in each classroom, students struggled with slow download speeds. Then you think, okay, how we can solve this? Maybe by adding another access point, yeah, that will give me more speed, because we have two access points instead of one. Is that maybe a solution? But when we put the second AP on and the students come in, we see that the students are not benefiting from this additional AP. And then you question, why is this not helping out? So to understand this, we go a little bit more technical to understand this. And we go back some years ago when we started Wi-Fi, and we offered Wi-Fi originally in the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi spectrum. And in that time, we said to our customers, okay, if you putting on your AP, make sure that your AP is configured in channel 1, 6, or 11. So there is no overlapping. So there is no collisions between one channel and another. So make sure you put it on those channels and then you're okay. And so we did, but in the meanwhile, the number of access points increased. So then when the numbers are increasing, you have issues with finding three channels that are not overlapping. So you can have 3 access points on 3 different channels, but what will happen with the 4th and the 5th and the 6th one? Yeah, you will also want to give him a channel as well, but what channel you want to give them, because 1, 6, and 11 is already occupied by the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd AP. So that was a struggle then to deploy a stable and reliable Wi-Fi at that time in the 2.4 spectrum. So at that time, we came up with another solution to use the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. And then we didn't have 3 channels available, non-overlapping. No, we had 19 channels non-overlapping. So that was more reliable and more stable to deploy our wireless on this part. But at this time, we were working on a speed of 54 Mbit, and that's very slow compared to the speeds we have today. So in the meantime, we developed our Wi-Fi, and the 11A evolved to the 11N, and that means that we doubled the speed because we merged the channels into each other. So then we doubled the speed and we still had 9 channels available. So that's quite good if you want to deploy a Wi-Fi project and you have still 9 channels to deploy. But this is not the standard we are running today. The standard we are running today is AC standard. And you see then we're dropping down from 9 to only 4 channels. And as you remember, when we started off on the 2.4 gigahertz, we had 3 channels. So now we are developed, let's say 10, 15 years later, and we come to the same issue. We have only a few channels to have this performance. And the next generation is even worse because then we can have only 2 channels. So what's the main issue we have is that we have code channel interference. So the channels that are broadcasting that causing a collision. To illustrate this, yeah, I draw a motorway, and yeah, the lanes come together, and you see that the cars are getting into an accident because yeah, they are on the same on the same path, so they have the same collision, and that's what they want to take out. So if we copy this into access points, yeah, then it looks like this. Yeah, we have 2 access points on the left and on the right, and in the middle you see the overlapping channel. And traditionally, what you maybe could do is turn down the power. Yeah, so when you reduce the power, you see that there is no overlapping anymore. But yeah, if you were standing in the middle of those 2 radios, then yeah, you don't have internet connection anymore. So that's not the real solution. The solution to this is going for smart antenna. Yeah, and smart antenna give you 4 benefits. Yeah, it will give you increased capacity, increase of coverage, reduce interference, and yes, it's even a green solution as well. Yeah, and this fits for even 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. To illustrate this, how this smart antenna is working, we're converting this to the traditional way. So the conventional Omni antenna, it's on the left-hand side, but yeah, what we want to try to achieve is the antenna pattern on the right-hand side. Yeah, you have to imagine if you have a mobile phone connected on the right-hand side of the right picture, then you get the biggest benefit of the signal that is being sent out to you. And you see in the area around it on the right picture, there is no interference can be done with any other kinds of access points that's in the neighborhood. So to illustrate this, we put a smart antenna in the middle. Yeah. And on one end, we have the Wi-Fi client, and the other end, we have an adjacent co-channel interference device. In this case, it's a microwave, but it can be another access point as well that is broadcasting in the same frequency. So what happens when the client comes near to the access point, then the antenna pattern is being created and is being set to the Wi-Fi client. So in this case, the Wi-Fi client has a perfect Wi-Fi connection, but doesn't have the interference of the adjacent device that's on the other side. So he has the full speed on his Wi-Fi. And yes, if the Wi-Fi client is moving, yeah, the antenna pattern will move with the device with him. Yeah. So then on the other side of the antenna pattern, there is no interference. So to illustrate what you see as a benefit is most of the time it is performance. So what we did is we did a setup. This is our auditorium in our headquarters in Taiwan. And if you see the drawing on the left hand side, we put the AP on the wall and we created 4 measuring points. P1 just on the opposite, P2 just on the corner in the corridor, P3 is more down the corridor, and P4, that's the measure point we have in our auditorium. Yeah. So if we do some testing on the AP, we did some testing on our product and we used some other A brand products as well. Yeah. We use Ruckus, Cisco, Aruba, HP to check on how they are doing compared to our products. So, and you see the dark green line on top, that's our product. And you see in the beginning, we are not to have the highest performance, but farther away from the AP, we get a better performance. This is 2.4, yeah, and obviously you want to use 5 gigahertz because that is what the majority is using. So also on 5 gigahertz, you see a really nice thing that happens is that also in the beginning, okay, we are not that fast as maybe Aruba, but on the other measuring points, we are #1, yeah. If we look at zoom in measuring point P4, yeah, that's the one in the auditorium. If we zoom in, then we see that on location P4, that all APs are disconnected or unusable, but only our product still have a 65 megabit throughput, yeah, on the farthest location, and all others are already gone. So this is the testing we did ourselves, but this is also being done by a university in Europe, in Italy, and they did the same kind of tests with all with the brands as well, with Aruba, Ruckus, and the Cisco brand, where you can see that the Ruckus has also smart antenna, and the Cisco has even more antennas. Yeah, you see it's a 3x4 instead of a 3x3 from the other vendors. But still, if you look at the outcome of the research will show that we have a 70% better performance in co-channel interference in the environment, and even 56% more coverage comparing to the Cisco that has a 3x4 antenna configuration. And yes, we are even outperforming our direct competitor Ruckus by 45%. So our software is much more efficient as what Ruckus is offering today. So we think smart antenna is the technology for the future, and it will give you a lot of more benefits and a better Wi-Fi experience. Yeah, another option we put in our product is that technically we cover all our chips that's sending out any kind of noise. So to make sure that all the signals that are coming back from the devices are very clear to this. So, and still we have lifetime warranty on all our products. So on that part, you're really safe on this. So if you check on what we have available, these are our product line that we have that can work standalone or from our centralized platform. So it's 1120T ACV2, it's a 2x2 access point, and then gradually you can go to a higher speed and a better technology with the 1120T ACHD, because that one has multi-user MIMO and it is Wave 2. Then specific for the hospitality, we have our NWA 1302AC. This is a product that carries the smart antenna, but it can be connected by just one PoE cable, and it has 3 switch ports on the access points as well. And on those switch ports, you can daisy chain a phone, a SIP phone, IP phone, or you can also daisy chain maybe your television set by connecting the Ethernet cable from the access point directly to your TV set. So in this case, you can connect all the services just by one cable to your access point. So these are standalone or centralized on our platform controlled. We have also the dedicated Nebula devices. Nebula, I will talk to you at the end of the presentation more on this product line. You see the 2x2, again up to 3x3, and we have an outdoor as well, the 353 that gives you an outdoor access point. We have our on-premises and controller-based products with the 5000 series and the 6000 series. Also 2x2, 3x3, and you see the hospitality product, the WAC 5302 as well in this portfolio. We can go to WAC 6103 as well. It's a 3x3 AC device, and our best product are 6000 series with the 6300 series and the 6500 series, where we have 2 outdoor ones. One is the traditional with the traditional antenna, the 53, but the 52 has also smart antenna technology. So this is our complete Wi-Fi access point portfolio. Of course, these access points can be managed on premises by our controllers. So we have on-premises and centralized controllers in our portfolio, and that can be done through our security products, our VPN or USG series, or even on our ATP series. These are wireless controllers. The primary function of these products are firewalls. So that's their primary function, but they have a controller function inside as well. Later on, we talk about the ATP series because that's our new series, what we have, and I'll talk you through that product line as well. So these are the what we have on the controller. These models, we can also support device HA Pro. So that means you can have 2 of those devices in your network, and in case that one of those devices is technically failing, it will automatically do the failover to a second one that's available in the same network. We have also some dedicated ones with the NXT 2500 and the 5500. Those are purely Wi-Fi on-premise controller based products. The difference between those is the number of APs we can manage out of the box. The 2500 starts with an 8 AP license that can be upgraded to 64, and with the NXT 5500 we have 64 APs out of the box, and also this one can be upgraded up to 1024 access points. To highlight some of the features that we have in our controllers, it is scalable because you can upgrade the number of APs starting with 8 or with 64 on the 5500s up to 1024. But we also do auto healing, meshing, client steering, isolation, all kinds of those wireless features we have available in our controller. To help you out on the deployment, we offer intelligent dynamic channel selection. Dynamic channel selection is really easy to use because then the controller will decide for you which channel it needs to be selected. So you don't have to do this manually. Of course, if you do a site survey and you want to do it manually, yes, you can do this. But if you want to do it automatically, we have a very powerful dynamic channel selection on board that can do it for you. Also, Radi is an Active Directory integration, so you can connect to any kind of database for any kind of authentication. We do all kinds of roaming, assisted roaming as well. That's really important if you do voice or streaming video to make sure that your roaming is 100%. So also those features we have implemented in our controllers. Here are some other topics, scheduling tasks. So you can say, okay, I will enable this SSID. For instance, in an education environment, you deploy Wi-Fi to the students and to the teachers. But at the end of the day, when the students go home, you can shut down the SSID for the students and then continue on running the SSID for the teachers. So that can be a scheduling task that can be implemented in our controller. To show you some solutions we had in hospitality, we have some deployment examples. We have two out of Europe. This is the World Trade Center in Rotterdam. This World Trade Center is being used for conferences. It's also being used for, this weekend there was the Marathon of Rotterdam. That's a worldwide event, and then all the runners are registering when they're joining the marathon in this building. So you know that you have a lot of people in this building. It's really high density, and they're coming in to do online registrations on this. So what did we do? We deployed a controller with smart antenna devices, a gateway and the switches, just to make sure that all the students, when we do an event with students or with other kinds of events, make sure that that the Wi-Fi is there. So you see here a big hallway where you can have, let's say, small booth and to have some presentations. And you see the blue dots where we put on all the access points so that everyone can be connected. And we also done tests in the Rotterdam hall in the back end. Then we have over 1,000 people are doing voting on their smartphone, and that worked seamlessly. Another nice environment we did is in London, in the UK. It's the Troxy. It's one of the place where we have the concerts in the UK. We did similar thing, only on a little bit smaller size with the NXT 2500, still also with our smart antennas and gateway and switches. And for this one, it was typically created for the people that are in the crowds that are using social apps like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to tell about how great the concert is, well, they're experiencing have their experience there in the concert hall. So those are two of the ones we did with our traditional Wi-Fi configurations. Any questions on this? We can use the chat for that. If you have any questions related to the slide deck. If there's no questions, I will continue with our security. To show you how important security is in your environment, especially when you're working in hospitality and education. In hospitality, you deal with a lot of guests, and you don't know what's going on their devices. Are the devices well protected? Are all the users are using endpoint protection to make sure that their endpoint is clear of viruses and all kinds of other threats? So on that end, it's really important. On the education part, it's really important, especially when students come in. Yeah, they mostly use laptops or mobile devices. They take home. What happens when they are at home? Are they working very strict on their computer, or are they downloading a lot of stuff? Or yeah, how are they managed? So when they come back in your environment, so in your hospitality environment or in your education environment, how do you treat those kinds of those devices? So security is really key to have this in place. So just a single firewall protecting your LAN network with your WAN network is not enough. You need some additional appliances to make this secure. And to show you some statistics, yeah, we dragged some of these statistics out of some reviews we found on the internet. And yeah, for example, 58% of malware attack victims are categorized as small businesses. So even on small businesses, yeah, you're not safe. Yeah, and another number, 81% of the data breach victims do not have a system in place to self-detect data breaches. So that's also something that you need to take care of, that not anything of your data is being stolen out of your network. To give you some other numbers, yeah, 60% of small business attacks are becoming more severe and more sophisticated. Yeah, because before it was just a single virus, and maybe it's dropping down characters from your screen. But nowadays they're locking out your system, and you need to pay money to unlock your devices, yeah, with ransomware. So it is involved a lot. So that's why you need some more protection. Another number, every 39 seconds there's a hacker attack anywhere in the world. So make sure that your network is protected. And to give you that protection, I will give you a quick overview of our new ATP product. Our ATP product stands for Advanced Threat Protection. This is a firewall including application that will protect you from all kinds of internet threats. And this is going beyond the conventional UTM products that we've seen before in our portfolio, but also in the portfolio of our competitors. The ATP is specially developed to provide you techniques against more sophisticated attacks and zero-day attacks. Because nowadays the attack is being created yesterday or being developed yesterday and deployed today, and then of course there is no profile to protect you on this. So to create the profile, you need some additional service for this. So to illustrate this is the conventional UTM functionality as we are working for some time already. Yeah, with the conventional UTM, we already had some applications on our firewall like anti-spam, IDP, ADP, antivirus, App Patrol, maybe content filter as well. that is providing all kinds of profiles that say, okay, this file or this network, this file on the network is good or probably good or suspicious or really bad. But there was always a gray part in the middle because it was undecided if it was a good or a bad thing that comes into your network. And this is the gray area, yeah? The might be good, the completely unknown or look suspicious ones. So you need more information on those decisions. So in traditional UTM, there was no solution for this. And in ATP, in the advanced threat protection products we have today, we offer sandboxing and artificial intelligence to manage this. So just for this part, yeah, we can have our unknown security threats and zero-day threats are being protected. Yeah. So to conquer these unknown security threats, we developed some additional services to block you against suspicious traffic, or to make sure that your speed, your internet speed is being protected. And to get this application, we had some smart cloud intelligence in place who can do this, because the hardware itself is not powerful enough to do the intelligence. So we outsource this intelligence, and this intelligence is in the cloud. So what happens? Your file, that's the gray line that's on the left-hand side, that comes in, that's the unknown threat that we detect, and that moves into a container in a protected environment. And then we do some emulation on this to see what happens if you execute this, or if you run this program, to see what's going on in a protected environment. So if that cloud intelligence has detected that it is a threat, then we get it out, we destroy it, and we send out a updated profile to all the devices into the network. So also we do the update of the signature when it's a file that is checked as a good file. Yeah, also then it's being updated directly into a profile. So these profiles are being distributed in a security ecosystem. And it's not only the Zizal product that helps to detect all these zero-day attacks. There are also other vendors like WatchGuard, like Symantec, that also have this kind of detection, and that's also send out the threats and share this information with us as well. So that means if there's a threat going in through a WatchGuard user, then even a Zizal user can benefit from his detection, and vice versa. So the software that we are using for this, it's not built by ourselves. We used a service from the market leader in this industry called Lastline. Lastline has developed a sandbox software solution originally for enterprises, but the reliability of this is very high. To illustrate this, there's an NSS Lab breach detection system report created, and that's available publicly, where they do testing of this software, and you can see that next to Lastline, only Trend Micro can give you the 100% security. Yeah, Fortinet and Checkpoint cannot have this, and also Cisco cannot have this. So yeah, we are taking the market leader, and also in price point, we offer the best solution in our products. So how does this product look like? We have this portfolio. We call this ATP series, Advanced Threat Protection series, and we have 3 models, the 200, the 500, and the 800. And in general, all these devices offer the same functionality. Yeah, there is only one big difference. That's the performance. If you look at the text below the images, you see the number of interfaces. That could be important, but probably the most important is your firewall throughput. Yeah, if you have a very fast internet connection, that's over 2 gig, then you might consider to look at ATP 500 or even 800 to have this implemented. If UTM throughput or VPN throughput is important to you, then you have to look at that number as well, because yeah, the number of applications we are running on the system will have an effect on the total performance of your device. And that's obvious, because if you want to check people or check files, that takes some time. Yeah, so and that time that you see back in the maximum throughput of that device. All those ATP products come with a 1-year gold security pack. That means that this is a license that you need to renew every year. So what comes with this gold pack? With this gold pack, you have sandboxing, the web security, the application security, the malware blocker, intrusion prevention, the geo enforcer, the managed AP services. Yes, all the number of access points that you can manage will be unlocked as well to the number of the maximum number, and you get the Secu Reporter free of charge as well within this license pack. So after a year, you need to renew this. If you don't renew, the product will still continue working, only your services will not be updated anymore. So this is regarding security. Then I have the last part on this before we end this session. I see there's still no questions, so I will continue. And that's our new platform that we introduced. This new platform will help you to do more easy deployments on your network. And it's not only easier, but it's also more cost effective. And to illustrate this cost effectiveness, we made an example to show this. So this is how we build our network traditionally. Yeah, we purchase our product and buy our licenses and maintenance contracts. Then we install the equipment, and you see in the bar down left that the number of man hours are increasing, and that the investment is also increasing by putting up more building blocks. So these are the first two, so purchasing equipment, installing equipment, but probably you want to monitor your equipment as well, yeah, by SNMP or ICMP or syslog. So that's something you need to implement. Then maybe you want to access your equipment remotely as well, yeah, by VPN or MPLS. So that's also an additional cost and configuring hours, man hours. Probably if you're doing the monitoring and you getting the SNMP out, you want to collect this in maybe in some kind of software, maybe some open source software to see what's happening in the at your customer site. So maybe you need that platform as well to install it. And okay, the data you collect, where do you store it? So probably you need some data storage as well. So every time when you putting a building block, it costs more time to install and to implement, and it costs more as well. Even yeah, when you do the updates and the setting changes, and at the end the user and device management, yeah, you see that the man hours are really high, and the investment is quite high. So with our new Nebula platform, we think you can reduce a lot in man hours, and in that case also in investment in infrastructure, like the money you have to invest. So yes, you still need to purchase your products. Yeah, yes, you still need to install your equipment. But then from that point, we have services that is all included in one platform. Yeah, all these 5 options are merged on one monitoring platform that we offer to you free of charge. Obviously, you still need to do the user and device management, yeah, because each individual network is different from each other. So that's a part you still need to do. But at the end, you're saving man hours and you're saving money because you don't need to implement all those different building blocks, because you have that just in one when you're having the monitoring platform. So as I said, we have a free network management platform. So, and it already starts when the products are in the box. Yeah. So if you buy our Nebula products, all our Nebula products are having a QR code that's available on the box itself, and with that QR code, you can register your product into the platform. So when you have registered all your devices on your platform, even when your product is still in the box, you can start configuring your network topology, even if the product is still in the box. So what happens, you're sending the products to the customer, and if it's being installed and connected to the internet, it will be automatically being provisioned out of our platform. So you are up and running in just a few minutes because it's auto provisioning all your devices when they are connected. And yes, you don't need any additional hard or software to it. You just connect our Nebula products to the internet. That product will automatically connect to our Nebula platform, and then when it's available there, you can start configuring and monitoring your device. So there's no additional hardware or software needed. You just need a mobile device or a computer with a browser, and then you can start with this. Yeah, and you can have this anywhere in the world where you have internet connection. You can monitor your network. We have even a mobile device, a mobile application for this. So for both iOS and Android, we have a free mobile app you can install. And then when you're traveling or you're going from one customer to another, you can be notified if the product is failing or exceeding a certain limits. So that's all there. So you have access to that system, but also you can create access to your network that you're deploying, like guest access. So if you're running in a hotel or any kind of hospitality service where you want to offer a guest network, this is already provided in our free Nebula service in there. Just buy one access point, put it on Nebula, and you have a free captive portal where you can do user and device management on this. So even if you're deploying in a larger environment, yeah, we have also some enterprise features that are in there, yeah, free of charge within the platform. So we do meshing, so that's extending your wireless without cable connection. We do even WPA2 enterprise security. So username, password based on the user, and we also support assisted roaming with the different standards we have now today. That is before more used in the enterprise environment. So that is also available out of the Nebula platform. So the intelligence is at the core. So what we have is that we have intelligence on our PoE. So we can have smart power to the PoE. That means that we can run classification as well as consumption mode. We do network protection on this. We do authentication. We do loop guard and all kinds of specific switch features. And yes, we are supporting a virtual stack on any of our Nebula switches as well. All the updates to our product is going over the air. So every time when there is a firmware update available, it's being automatically pushed to your network and to your devices. So all your devices will have the latest functionality and the latest security available to your customer. And yes, you can also schedule that update, because maybe you don't want to have that on a specific time, because then maybe guests or people are still working on the network. So maybe you want to do it overnight. So then you can say, okay, push this update on a later stage. What's also available when you buy our Nebula product or Gateway product, you can do VPNs on that. So you can easily connect one site to another by a VPN. And it is really easy. We support site-to-site and hub and spoke by default on the VPN. And that is also within the platform free of charge available when having our Gateway product. So you can manage all your clients out of Nebula, and it is supporting multi-tenant. That means that you have an overview of all the organizations you are the administrator of. So how does it look like? Yeah. So it's multi-tier. So when you log in, you see on the system all the organizations that you are have access to, and you can already see the status of each organization. And the more detail you want on that organization, you just click on the organization and you see more detail. So just we click on one of the organizations, and if we click on the organization, yeah, then we see all the sites within the organization. Yeah, so if you're running a hotel with multiple branches, then you can say, okay, this is the Hilton Hotel with these sites. Then the organization is Hilton, and on the sites you see the different branch offices of that chain. And then, of course, you can dig into each individual site as well, and then you see the dashboard of that particular site. So on that site, you have an overview on the status, on your access points, on your switches, on your gateway, on the number of clients you are running, and also you see directly information on the applications you are running at that time. And yes, everything what we showed, yeah, it is free of charge when you're entering our Nebula system. So what kind of products you can use to have this free management software? You can use our strictly Nebula products, so dedicated Nebula devices like NSG, the gateways, or the NSWs, the switches, or the NAPs, or access points, to put on this service. We have also products that we are calling Nebula Flex. With Nebula Flex, you have some extra feature. That means if you're selecting not a dedicated Nebula product, but a Nebula Flex product, then you have the possibility to move out of the cloud if you don't want to use that. Or even if you have bought some standalone product today, we offer you a free software update to let you see how our cloud platform is working. So we offer dual mode functionality in our product. You know? And that means that you can make the decision how to manage and deploy and monitoring your device. Do you want to do it standalone, or you want to be centralized managed through Nebula? Yeah, so that's Nebula Flex. But on our professional products, like the 6000 series, those 6000 series were also available to connect to an on-premise controller. And on those more high-end access points, we offer Nebula Flex Pro. So that's not only dual mode functionality, it is triple mode functionality. So you see on 01 it's controller, 02 it's Nebula, or 03 it's standalone. It's up to you as a customer how to use this access point. So what you only have to do is to make sure that you run the latest firmware on the access point. You create an account on nebula.zyxel.com. If you don't have one, you create an account, you update to the latest firmware, you register your device, and you can go up and running. If for some reason you don't like our cloud products, yeah, we haven't seen it happening much, but then you can very simply go back. Just unregister your device on the cloud, and the device will reset itself automatically and will fall back into the standalone mode. So then still, if you don't want to use cloud, then you can still use our hardware. So the cloud, as I said, it is completely free. So all the devices that we have today, there is for the majority of those, is there an upgrade available without any additional cost to upgrade into the Nebula. There are some items that you can add on to the Nebula platform. There are two add-ons that we made available. It's a professional pack and a security pack. Both packs are license-based and needs to be renewed annually. So to give some example on the professional pack, there are some features that exclusively only when you buy the professional pack, it will give you status alerts on your email and give push notifications on your mobile device. It will extend your statistics from 7 days to a full year. And because it's full year, we can run analysis on that. Yeah, we can add more admins to your organizations. Yeah, those are typically features that are in the professional pack. Also, bandwidth control. If you want to do bandwidth control on your security gateway, this is also a functionality that we only provide through the professional pack. Yeah, for hospitality and people that like to offer IPTV on their network, we also have advanced IGMP possibilities in our Pro Pack. That will do monitoring and reporting on the channels that are being used within your network and can do all kinds of reporting. So the reporting we can do, especially when you're running hotels, you can see the number of channels you're using and the popularity of those channels. So in the example in the picture, you see the top 10 channels that are being watched in that hotel, and you see that HBO is the most popular one. So with these statistics, you can match up what the best channel is and what are the most popular channels you can offer to the guests. So this reporting we can offer out of the Nebula system. Only, as I said, it is a ProPack feature, so that's something you need to pay annually on this. Another ProPack feature is the synchronization. So you can create configuration templates upfront, and then you can push them to any new kind of configuration. You can clone settings from one switch to another, or you can backup and restore configurations from one point to another. So that's more advanced features you have in the ProPack. So what happens if you forget about your ProPack to extend? Then compared to Meraki, because Cisco Meraki, if you forget to pay your license, then all your services are being canceled and there is no wireless service anymore. That is not the Zyxel way. We are still providing all the services, and only the things you can change or modify in the ProPack cannot be modified anymore. So the settings will stay as it is, but cannot be modified when this ProPack is being expired. As soon as you extend your ProPack again, then it comes back and all your features can be modified again. The ProPack can also be offered in a lifetime license. So that means you don't have to renew every year the products, but you can pay one fee and then all your products stay within the ProPack configuration. And you can even upgrade or replace your devices without buying a new license for this. The last pack we have on Nebula is the security pack, and the security pack comes with our gateway with a license for 1 year, but after 1 year you need to extend this license, and this license will contain antivirus, content filtering, application control and intelligence, IDP, intrusion detection prevention, and the analytic tools. So what you can see is what is going on through your network. And you can dig into each individual topic and you can see what the usage is on each individual topic. So the application awareness is there, but also understanding about your internet usage. So which website is most frequently visited, and that kind of statistics is there as well. Yeah, reporting on antivirus, you see which IP addresses, or if you have the connection to your user database, you can see which user has been affected by some virus attacks. You have that analysis as well. Yeah. So to give you the overview, so on Nebula, it is free, as I said. We have all kinds of features that are in there. So it's zero-touch deployment. You have lifetime warranty and support on this. You can roll out your complete configuration on this. But if you need more professional or enterprise feature sets, then probably you need to extend your Nebula free with a professional pack. And even you can move that into lifetime as well. So, and then we have the security pack with the antivirus, IDP, and content filtering. So these are the add-ons you can have. So you can run Nebula for free. Yeah, you can have Nebula for free with the security pack. You can have Nebula for free with the professional pack, and you can have Nebula with the professional or lifetime pack and the security pack. So that are the possibilities you have in the Nebula environment. The only thing you have to deal with is that within the organization you have to choose which service you want to go for. Your organization needs to be free, or needs to be a professional pack annually, or needs to be professional pack lifetime. So you have to decide that per organization. So if you check on the products, what do we have available in this great Nebula platform? These are our gateways, NSG50, 100 and 200. You see the number of interfaces, and again, the firewall throughput on this one, that is really key on this. And our flagship is NSG 300. As I mentioned before, we have the ATP series, and the ATP series has more advanced security features and also more advanced than the NSG series we have in our portfolio today. What I can tell you now is that our ATP series will have dual firmware by the end of the year or by beginning 2020, and then the ATP series can also move into our Nebula platform. So this is the overview of the gateways we have. Yeah, these are dedicated Nebula. We'll go into NCC, and we have a 1-year Pro Pack come with the product, and also a 1-year security pack. Yeah, the Pro Pack needs to be can be extended by lifetime or can be extended annually. The NSS pack can only be extended annually. If you look at the switches, these are the Nebula and the Nebula Flex switches we carry today in our portfolio. Currently, the GS1920 and XGS1930 series, if we have today, those are the two series we have today that has standalone feature set by default, but can be moved into cloud when needed. The NSW series, on the contrary, they don't offer the standalone functionality. They only carry the cloud managed functionality. You see in the models, there's some differentiation on this. On the 1920, we have an HHP 24 port, 24 HP, 48 and a 48 HP. With the XGS stands for 10G uplink. So it's a 1 gig switch with a 10G uplink, and we have a 28 port HP, a 52 and a 52 port HP. And on the cloud only, we only go up to 24 ports on that one. We don't carry a 48 or a 52 port on that one. So to give you an overview with the switches we have, the 10 ports, 28 ports, and the 28 ports Nebula ones that are dedicated Nebula, and they can't run standalone and only in Nebula. They come with a 1-year Pro Pack, free of charge. And on the other ones, the Nebula Flex ones, they can run standalone as well, and optionally they can have a Pro Pack installed on this as well. Then our last products that we have for Nebula, these are our dedicated Nebula access points, the NAP 102, the 203, the 303, and the 353. This is our lineup that's dedicated for Nebula. We also have a product line for Nebula Flex, so that can run both in standalone mode as in cloud mode. And then we have 2 devices that can run Nebula Flex Pro. This means this is a Wave 2 device, can run standalone, on-premise controller, and cloud. So you have the most flexibility on this one. So the overview, this is the overview. We have the Nebula ones, and what you see at the end of the list, you see WAC 61 and 6500 and above. These will get the Nebula Flex Pro license as well by June of this year. These access points that are now currently only available in standalone and in managed mode will also have the third option to move into Nebula. So this will be a free software update that we will provide you in June. So this will conclude my presentation that was scheduled for today. I just open up the mics. So if there's any questions you might have, we can have our conversation now. After the Q&A, we do a draw with a question, and the one who answers first on this will get this free home router. So if there's anyone with questions, just open up your mic, because all the mics are muted at the moment, and then we can have some conversation if you want. I don't know if anyone has a question. I just look at my screen if anyone is opening up. Yes? No? Anyone? Or by chat, maybe if you have troubles with your mic, you can put it on the chat as well. No? Okay, let's go to the lucky draw on this. So before you give an answer, you have to open up your mic or put your name on the chat, and then the first one who gives the right answer will win this MBG 6604. So I don't know if everyone is ready. You can open up your mic or your chat now if you want to anticipate on this draw. I will show you the question. The question is, how do we call our free configuration and monitor platform? Anyone? Just open up your mic or put it on chat. Anyone? Can't hear anyone on this. On chat maybe? No? Okay. No, the answer was Nebula, Sizon Nebula. So, okay. So let's close this off. If you have any question, you can send out email to our sales desk in Dubai, or to Mohammed in Saudi Arabia. So they're more than happy to answer your questions. Yeah, once again, thank you for joining this presentation, and maybe see you next time somewhere in the future. Thanks a lot for joining, and have a good day.